Okay, so it's another quick video for myself, Harvey Goldman. No cuts, no edits, no filters, and no hair. So no gimbal today. I'm on shaky cam. I forgot it in my rush to get to work this morning, and I am on a break from my 9 to 5. So today, really just want to, I guess, fire up a discussion as to why working hard seems to no longer pay off. Certainly in 9 to 5 anyway. I feel that hard work is basically pretty dead. The system obviously feels rigged against us. You know, we've all been told that hard work leads to success. Clearly in the UK today, there is no longer any truth to that. Wages are stagnant, costs are skyrocketing across the board. Even those working in full-time jobs, some of them well paid, are still struggling to get ahead. It does feel that as soon as you get ahead a little bit, another tax comes out, another charge, another fee, another reduction in something, and then you're put back to base. So yeah, why is that, and what can we do to escape it? I think it's always been a bit of a myth that hard work equals success. Certainly for my parents, that may have been true. And obviously they were in their, I guess, formative working years in the 70s and the 80s. And maybe that was true then. Obviously now, 40 years on, wages haven't kept up with inflation. There's been a massive rise in what they call the working poor. And basically that's just full-time workers in jobs, putting into the economy, paying their way and still struggling to survive. And I use the word survive there very loosely. It does feel like the system is rigged. It really does. And that's evident from the comments I've received from some of you as well, that it's not just me, it's not just in my area, it's UK wide. Obviously house prices versus wages, that's a big one. It's almost like the impossible gap. It used to be that perhaps a house back in the 90s certainly would have cost something like 3 or 4 times your yearly wage. Now, I'm guessing, based on what I've seen recently going on the likes of Rightmove and Prime Location and Zoopla, it's probably 9 or 10 times for the same kind of house. I mean, that's nuts. I feel robbed, but at the same time blessed that I managed to get onto the property ladder when I did in 2019, just prior to obviously the first rumours of COVID. I don't think, honestly, even with the deposit that I put down, I don't think it'd be an option if I tried it now. I really don't think it would be. And I think I'd be stuck in a crooked rental market rather than in a crooked ownership market. It feels like it's a no-win. I think it's obviously the main reason that a lot of people are giving up on traditional work. The rise of workplace burnout, workplace apathy. There's been an explosion in side hustles all over YouTube, all over social media. The growing appeal of being a digital nomad and earning passive income that way. Now, obviously, that's something that's accessible to people if they're in a certain situation. Perhaps if you've not got kids, if you've not got many ties to an area, digital nomad is probably the way forward. Certainly if my life was a little bit different in terms of family and children, I would probably be going all out to try and be a digital nomad. It seems like it's the ideal mix. You work on your own terms, you can sort of migrate from country to country. Again, obviously in the comments, a lot of you have mentioned living in Southeast Asia, places like Thailand, Vietnam, and I understand that Thailand have just introduced, or they are about to introduce, I think it's called a DTV, which is a 5-year working visa, and all you've got to do is just exit the country and come back every 3 months or every 6 months. 1,200 quid for 5 years. I mean, that sounds amazing. So that's definitely something that's on my radar. I mean, obviously in terms of what all of us can do about it, I think the biggest change that any of us can make to this is to try and break free from the paycheck to paycheck cycle, which is obviously made really difficult with the cost of living being the way it is. Obviously, in a few of my earlier videos, I went into some smart ways to make extra money, and there have been masses of comments on my first video with people suggesting ways that they already do it. And I mean, that's still getting traction now, sort of 5-6 weeks later. some really good ideas coming through, and certainly some stuff that's given me food for thought as to what the next side hustle I want to explore is. It does seem like adapting is the only way to win in this rigged economy. And I think if you're the type of sort of staunch Englishman, traditional Englishman, that's just going to be stoic and, lay back and accept it, I think probably you're going to lose. That's my honest opinion. I really think we need to adapt and overcome. It is horrible that it's gone like this. Myself, I've noticed things like the end of career progression. A lot of people used to stay in their jobs for years. Now it seems more than ever people are career hopping, or indeed job hopping at regular intervals. Perhaps if they don't get the pay rise they want, or they don't get the promotion they want, rather than sort of toughing it out with one employer, it seems to almost be a trend not to stay in employment as long. And that's true for myself. I think back in 2007, maybe 2006, I took a job as a business broker. I was in that job for 13 years, or nearly 13 years. And the only thing that made me leave that job was wanting to look after my kids full time. But yeah, more recently, since the advent of COVID, I've probably had 6 jobs since 2019, which is nuts. And yeah, it feels like it's almost just a trend. I don't know if it's here to stay. I don't know if there's any way to turn that around. But I think obviously with all of the increases in costs for employers because of the national insurance hikes that are coming in, they've not only hiked the amount they have to pay, but they've lowered the threshold when they have to pay it, which kind of seems ridiculous. It's going to mean that employers are more stingy with promotion, they're more stingy with pay rises, and it's probably going to cause more people to leave their jobs to seek greener pastures. I don't think there's any easy win for this rigged economy. I really don't. So let me know in the comments, what's your experience of this? Have you experienced this in your personal life with work? Have you experienced job hopping? Have you experienced it when perhaps you've tried to escape the rental market and buy a house? What's your experience of a rigged economy? Let me know in the comments. YouTube's going to probably put a video up here somewhere. Obviously, give that one a look if you want to. It'd be great if you like, follow, subscribe. I think I missed a milestone, but about a day and a half back, I did hit 300 subscribers. So obviously, I want to thank everybody for that. That's fantastic. Literally never thought that would happen. So yeah, let's keep at it. Goldman, peace out.